And welcome to another edition of BCSN Sports Flash. Greg Franke here with you tonight. And we always use the term student athlete because we emphasize how important academics are in addition to athletic achievement. And we've got a couple of people who are the living embodiment of that from Central Catholic. And they were teammates on the volleyball team, Megan Koralewski and Molly Hartlage. So thanks for being in with us here tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Now, Megan, I think everybody knows who you are because for about the last month we've been running our BCSN Student of the Month. Congratulations, and that you have been chosen as the Student of the Month, and so you've been in front of a lot of our viewers and they know who you are. I guess that was quite a thrill when you found out that you were chosen.
Definitely, yeah.
What was the process? You were telling me a little bit about how it all began and how it all culminated in you receiving the award.
Well, you have to apply for it first of all, and you have to get a couple teacher recommendations and write an essay or two, and then there's a board and they pick out of all the applicants, and I was lucky enough to have been chosen.
So was it your idea, I want to apply for this, or did somebody say, hey Megan, you should apply for that?
It was my mom, so.
Well, of course.
In a way mine, but definitely my mom's.
Yeah, well, she gave you some good advice there, and it all paid off, and you get a nice scholarship out of that. Mm-hmm. And what are you interested in studying going forward?
I want to study psychology.
Mm-hmm. So what got you interested in that?
My sister is currently studying psychology at the University of Toledo, and I'm also taking a psychology class at Central right now. So I really like that, and I'm interested in learning more about it.
Yeah, we've had a few students who've done that. So yeah, who knows? Maybe you can work on your teammates. Give her a little bit of a going over there. Now, Molly, you also are an outstanding student, and I was told actually by your coach, Amanda Gray, who recommended that both of you be in here tonight, that you received a nearly perfect score on the ACT. And I think we talked about that once before. What score did you actually get on the ACT out of how many?
I got a 35 out of 36. Yeah.
That's unheard of. I mean, somewhere in this great country of ours, there's probably somebody who got a higher score than that, but I've certainly never heard of it. I asked you about that once after one of the games, and you just said, well, I'm a good test taker. And we didn't really have time to go into it very much then, but at the time I think I might have said something to the effect of, there had to be more to it than that. I mean, you don't just get that kind of a score because you happen to be a good test taker. So let's expand from that a little bit. You're a good test taker, but what else do you think maybe helped you get to the point where you could achieve a score like that?
I think definitely other standardized tests I've taken like throughout high school, and definitely just in my classes, being able to read something and comprehend it and answer math questions and that kind of thing.
Did you do a lot of practicing for it beforehand? Or you said you took several other tests, so it was just something where maybe you were a little bit more familiar with what you're going to be facing when you ended up getting the great score?
Yeah, I didn't do a ton of practice from books, but we actually took a pre-ACT test at school, so that was how I prepared for the kind of questions I was going to face.
And that really helped you a lot. So there's a lot of people, I think, that when they take a test like this, there's everybody watching, there's probably a lot of people watching that are going to be taking this test. So here you're going to give a chance to give them some good advice. How should they go about preparing? There's a school of thought that says, just kind of go in there and it's a measurement of what you know, what you've accumulated in knowledge. So just go and take the test. And some people would advocate that you really should prepare for it and maybe take a lot of practice tests and all that. How would you advise somebody preparing for that test to get ready for it?
I think probably taking it the first time is key because you know what your strengths and weaknesses are. And I also think just practicing really helps.
Mm-hmm. Obviously, it helped you a lot. So you've got several schools that you're thinking of attending, and so you've got it narrowed down a little bit. Where are you right now in your sort of selection process? I know a number of schools would probably love to have you as part of their student body.
Well, I've applied to 8 schools, but I think my top 4 right now are Notre Dame, Northwestern, University of Cincinnati, and Duquesne.
And what's your area of interest that you want to study?
I want to study biomedical engineering.
Yeah. Well, with a background like that, and you both have great grade point averages, it would be really a riddle to me how anybody would not accept you. You could probably tell youngsters when they grow up. You really study and you work hard and you get good grades and good test scores, you can go anywhere you want. And I'd be shocked if that wasn't the case with you. So certainly best of luck there. Now, what about volleyball, Megan? You're still considering wanting to continue on. You've got some options for continuing to play volleyball.
Yeah, definitely. I'm really looking into playing at Otterbein University in Columbus, just north of Columbus. And if that doesn't work out, then I'll try to go to UT and walk on.
Mm-hmm. So with the psychology studies and everything that you're going to be undergoing, and obviously it's a big commitment to play Division I or Division III sports, is that something that you're up for?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. So is it something that you've decided that really from long when you were playing for Central Catholic that you knew that that was something that you eventually wanted to do, is to play volleyball at the next level?
Volleyball has always been my life pretty much, and ever since I was a little girl I've always dreamed of playing volleyball at the collegiate level, so it's definitely been more of a reality this year as a senior. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, we certainly wish you the best luck. Now you too, Molly, you're not going to give up playing volleyball, even though with all of the intensive academic work that's in front of you, you might not be able to actually make the commitment to play at some of those schools that you mentioned, but you certainly want to continue to play the game, right?
Yeah, I hope to play club or intramural because I really love to play and I don't want to give that up, but I would rather pick a school for academics.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, so you both played together for Central Catholic. How long have you been playing volleyball together? Did you play before you got to high school, and you go back a long way with that, or was it just basically when you got to high school you became teammates?
We became teammates our sophomore year. We played varsity together, and then our junior year we also played club together, and then again for Central.
Mm-hmm. So playing together, does that really help you when you get onto the floor, that familiarity that you have one to another? Did that help you through a lot of tough matches?
Yeah, I think just playing together definitely helps you with chemistry, just knowing what balls they're going to take and what balls they're not going to take.
Mm-hmm. You had an excellent season at Central. Of course, St. Ursula, they have tended to run away with things in the track, but you guys, you're in a real big battle with Notre Dame, and you got second place, which is a title in itself in a certain sense because of, obviously, St. Ursula and their standing. But did you feel like that was a big accomplishment to be able to do that?
Definitely. I think that matches like Notre Dame and even Clay has been a huge competitor in the 4 years that we've been at Central. It definitely shows that really the people who work the hardest and want it the most win, because we're pretty much on the same skill level, but it just comes down to who wants it more, and I think that it was safe to say that we wanted it more in those two matches. Well,
there was several matches that really did go down to the wire, especially the one in the track tournament. I think it really looked like maybe it was going to go against you, and then you just all sort of pulled together and pulled it through and accomplished it. Did you feel the same way, that you just sort of had a team that you weren't going to give it up until the very last point?
Yeah, I think definitely in some of those matches we were on a little bit of a roller coaster, but we always managed to come together in the fifth set and pull it together for the win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, you certainly did that, and it was very exciting watching your team play this year, and got great futures ahead of you, and primarily academically, but also to continue playing volleyball would be a lot of fun, and I think that should be great role models for the students that see, hey, this is what you can accomplish. You can be the student of the month, you can get great test scores, and basically be able to do whatever they want in their future because of that, and we think that's great that you can be that kind of role model here, so we'd love to have you in. Thanks for joining us here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Megan Koralewski and Molly Hartlage from Central Catholic Volleyball. Greg Franke saying so long from another edition of BCSN Sports Flash.